Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Season 3 finale of Wildcard Cinema here on the Full Circle Radio Network. I'm your producer here, JJAlexander. Joining me are my amazing co-hosts, Greg and Mark. Gentlemen, how are you doing on this lovely spring evening?
I am doing fantabulous. I don't know if that's a word. I don't know if that's a word, but Harley Quinn told me it was.
Hell yeah.
And I'm doing fine.
That's nice. I got to take my first actual shower in a week today because I had to do like sponge baths because I got like stitches and shit. So it was a beautiful thing.
I bet.
Yeah. Now I just need the damn pain to stop. Yeah. It's always great to go under the knife and then come out and they were like, yeah, we didn't find anything. Like, great. That's wonderful. So I'm hacked up now for no particular reason. That's great.
Why did they start cutting?
Because they thought there might have been an infection, and they couldn't tell unless they went in there.
So what was the problem then?
They don't know.
It's a mystery?
They just, drained out some fluid, and, yeah. The cultures came back negative. They tested them for 3 days.
What the actual fuck, dude?
Welcome to my life, bro.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So,
Not fun.
A nice, 3-day stay in the Bone and Joint Center.
For nothing.
I mean, I'm not, I can stand again. That's a positive. I look at it like that. I couldn't stand before. The slightest bit of pressure, and I went, fuck! But now I can stand.
Wow. So how many surgeries was that?
54, baby!
54. You know what? That's not bad. That's
not
reasonable.
Not at
That's
all.
reasonable. Yeah,
Not
definitely.
at all, yeah. I'm still mad I didn't get that free set of steak knives at number 50. That was my ongoing joke forever. It was my ongoing joke at 25, and then it was my ongoing joke at 50. But yeah.
At 57, you can get a endorsement deal with Heinz ketchup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I suppose I don't need new knives anyway. I accidentally freaking sliced my finger open.
When?
Saturday. I got a new Nakiri knife a couple of weeks ago when I was prepping dinner, and I tend to forget when I buy a new knife how sharp they actually are.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing my chop, and then I just do the slide, and I'm like, oh, shit, yeah.
That happened to me one time when I was living in Bristol. I was chopping potatoes with a knife that I knew was sharp, but I was like, I even joked about it. I was like, yeah, what? I'm not going to cut myself or anything. Everybody calm down. And I immediately sliced the fuck out of my thumb. And at first I was like rinsing it under the sink going like, oh, probably super glue it. Can't be that bad. And then I looked down and it was like a fucking chasm in the center.
I just used the liquid bandage stuff to close mine. I was fine. The problem is one of the things they gave me when I got out of the hospital was they told me to be on aspirin for a couple of weeks. So just like
so your blood thin. Yeah. Well, you're probably lucky then because I went to get stitches at the Bristol Hospital ER.
I'm sorry.
And what they did was they spread the wound open,
of course,
and took a big old needle full of not Novocaine but lidocaine or something, and stuck it right into the wound, into it.
Yep.
and I almost passed out. That was the closest I've ever been. Like I felt my heart flutter. I felt like and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna faint.
Yeah.
That was such a painful experience.
That was the way it was, literally. When I went into the OR, they're like, yeah, we're just going to knock you out. We're going to go in there, root around, take a culture, yada, yada. Usually when they do something like that, they do the anesthesia team puts a block on whatever part they're working on. So that way when I wake up, I'm just numb for however long. Yeah, they didn't do that. So when I woke up, I was literally like tears rolling down my face the moment I came out of anesthesia. And then they were, and here's the killer. They were like, hold on. And they gave me Demerol in my IV, which usually that like a teeny bit, I'm like, I'm out for the next week.
Yeah, it's Demerol.
Nothing. Not Demerol. Dilaudid in my IV. Nothing.
Dilaudid.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
So then they had to come and do the local block while I was awake. And they like, when they went to go hit it, they hit my femoral artery. So
fucking what?
Yeah, so I had a little bit of whoop. But you know something? After that, no pain for like 3 days.
All my walls were red from the blood. But Jesus God, dude.
Yeah, it happens.
So what hospital do we want to give a good old shout out to?
Listen. I will never go back to Bristol ever again in my life because they were the ones that caused all my problems. Everything else I've had done in Hartford, and I am happy with what they've done. While I may have been in pain for a bit, they take care of it. Yeah. And they do everything they can to make me comfortable. So that's all that matters to me. I just know that 8 days from now, I'm going to be in NYC, and apparently I'm going to be wearing an air cast and walking very little.
Okay.
But I'm still going. That's all that matters. But anyways, we are way off topic here.
I know, right?
But yeah, this is episode 11, which is the final episode of season 3. It's the season finale, baby. And we're here to do what we do. And for those of you who are, tuning in for the first time, you chose a very odd place to do it. But hey, whatever, you're here. That's all that matters. The beautiful thing is you really don't need to, start at the beginning with us. It's fun. You can jump around if you want. But if you need a refresher for how we do things here at Wildcard Cinema, I'm going to let past JJ handle that. He was a little less medicated. The season consists of 11 episodes in total. Every episode features reviews of 3 specific movies, one from each of our 3 panelists. That means every show, you're getting 3 different perspectives and 3 different films to analyze and dissect. Prior to the beginning of the season, each of us has written down our movie selections on slips of paper. Those slips were put into our own personal receptacles, a collector's cup, a crystal skull, whatever seemed to be handy at that time. At the end of each episode, we make a blind pull from our stash, and those 3 polls become the movies we review on the following show. The films we're reviewing today were chosen at the end of episode 10. Now when we make our polls, we all have to keep a straight face. No tipping your hand, no smirks, and no groans. Just a straight up poker face. That way, nobody knows what to expect until we sit down and review on the following episode. Now the reasoning behind our movie choices can be just about anything. Maybe it's a film we think deserves more attention, or one we feel was overhyped and overexposed. Maybe it has an elaborate backstory behind its production. Maybe it's a film one of us just hasn't gotten around to watching and needs to cross off the old bucket list. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a movie one of us absolutely hates and wants to vent about to the group. Each panelist has their dealer's choice on when they make their reveal. Before the discussion starts, the dealer may show or hold until everyone else is weighed in. And then there's the show's namesake. Mixed in with those slips of paper is one that just says Wildcard. If that gets pulled, the panelist gets to throw in a movie that wasn't part of his original lineup. Think of it like a sideboard card in tabletop gaming, or the river card in poker. That one surprise element keeps everyone on their toes. With this being the season finale, all wild cards have been drawn. However, one did wait until the finale to make its appearance. The one solid long-standing rule is that every movie has to be available online, whether on a streaming service or video on demand, so anyone watching can track it down and watch it at their leisure afterwards. So for one last time this season, Let's let the fun begin. And from this point forward, spoilers ahead. All right, judging by the order that we've been going and the Mark went last time, so Mark goes first this time.
Oh, okay.
That's how we roll. So
Cool.
What was your selection, Mark?
My selection was Wonder Boys from the year 2000.
Sarah, there's something I gotta tell you.
Oh, that's funny. I need to talk to you, too.
You first.
This morning,
I'm pregnant.
Hello?
The nation's top critics agree. Wonder Boys is a comic dazzler
I just got my hood jumped on.
with a pitch-perfect cast.
Does that sound like anyone we know?
Michael Douglas stars in one of his best and most surprising performances.
How's the book? Don't touch it.
Tobey Maguire is impressively subtle. He now must be recognized as the outstanding 20-something actor.
Where exactly are we going? See my wife? The one that left you?
Frances McDormand is glorious.
What's he doing here?
I'm sort of helping him through some issues.
Isn't he lucky?
Robert Downey Jr. has never acted with more comic skill.
Isn't that a nice greenhouse?
It's Mrs. Gaskell's. It's her hobby.
I thought you were Mrs. Gaskell's hobby.
Katie Holmes acts with fire.
Come on, Teach. I want you to dance with me.
From the director of L.A. Confidential,
Someone jumped on your car with their butt.
How can you tell?
Well, you can see the outline of a butt.
director Curtis Hanson not only understands the jokes, he knows how to place them in this handsomely mounted, graceful production.
I just wanted to stay with you for a little while.
I'm a teacher, James. I'm not a Holiday Inn.
Paramount Pictures and Mutual Film Company invite you to rediscover the wonder of it all.
I lost a wife today.
Oh, you'll find another. She'll be young, beautiful. They always are.
Wonder Boys is terrific.
Man, that book of yours must have been one nutty ride.
This movie is pure pleasure. Wonder Boys.
Released in the year 2000, Wonder Boys is written by Steve Kloves, based on a book by Michael Chabon. It was directed by Curtis Hanson, starring Michael Douglas, Tobey Maguire, Frances McDormand, and Robert Downey Jr. On a budget of $55 million, its worldwide box office total was $33.4 million. The synopsis is an English professor tries to deal with his wife leaving him, the arrival of his editor, who has been waiting for his book for 7 years, and the various problems that his friends and associates involve him in. Dealer's choice, Mark.
I choose to hold. I will tell you after.
You want to go first, Joe, or you want me?
You decide, Greg.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. So, hold on, I'm just making sure I have my notes here. I remember like seeing like this title of, you know, the like hearing about this movie in passing, and I think I may have caught a trailer in the theaters at the time it came out, and it just didn't really like seem like something I wanted to watch at the time. Which is nothing wrong. I mean, I love Michael Douglas, I love Robert Downey Jr., I love Frances McDormand. So I hadn't watched it prior to this. And I had a hard time getting into it at first, just because a couple of things. Like, I found the voiceover right from the beginning a bit distracting because I wasn't sure what was going on. You guys still there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I heard like a click out and I wasn't sure. Okay. I admit the perfume joke made me laugh when Frances McDormand was like, I wear the same perfume as a transvestite. I did chuckle. I said, I swear John Boy has never played anyone likable in his entire adult acting career. Like, that's the thing. Like, no matter who he's always John Boy. Like, even like when I watch like the Tim Curry version of it, he's still John Boy. Like, you will always be John Boy. I remember I was marking this. I said, I'm 15 minutes into this movie and not a single character is likable and most are utterly pretentious. And I wasn't sure if that was what they were swinging for. I did say, there was that bit where Katie Holmes asked Tobey Maguire about, celebrities and how they died. And like he's rambling off and I just went, Tobey Maguire is Nihilist Rain Man coming this summer. And I said, and I remember because this was 2000, so this was pre-Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. So like this was like all he had really done is like Cider House Rules, and like he hadn't learned how to emote on screen yet, apparently. Because I mean, even after Spider-Man, like the only emotion Tobey Maguire knows how to do on camera is cry.
I don't know, man. That strut down the sidewalk in the black clothes. I don't know, man.
I rest my case. He doesn't emote during it. He just dances. And then we hit the 20-minute mark, and I guess this is why Greg wanted me to go first. This was my voice notes.
Whoa, pretty strong wording there, sir. What exactly brought this on?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't see a problem, but all right.
You don't see a problem with Tobey Maguire putting 2 bullets in a pit bull and playing it off as a joke.
I don't see a problem.
I was checked out of the movie from that. I had to shut the movie off and go back to it at another time.
Really? Fuck.
Because that really fucking pissed me off. Like, it's not like I'm not one of those, oh my God, I can't watch it because the dog dies. It's because it was played off for a fucking laugh.
Yeah.
Twice!
Yeah.
Because later on, when they used the dead dog's body in the fucking bed.
Yep.
And especially because one of my notes was prior to the getting shot was, I'm sorry, but as a dog owner, if your dog barks at anyone, you don't have them walking around a party with 80 strangers in your house. Like, that's just like, that's terrible storytelling. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was checked out at the 20-minute mark. I went back and finished it. And that's when I really started hating this movie. I put aside the dog bit, and I still hated this fucking movie. Like, I cannot, I couldn't fucking believe it. Toby chiming in when they're doing the little, when Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr. are sitting at the bar, and they're like doing the little improv thing where they're like, what's his name? What was it? Vernon Hardapple, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, 10 seconds before Tobey Maguire chimes in with a bit on it. 9, 8, 7. Oh, look, there's Tobey Maguire chiming in on it. That was such a fucking predictable fucking joke. And then I lost my shit when he went off about the 1966 Galaxy 500 because as somebody who owned a 1964 Galaxy 500, there was a whole lot wrong with that fucking scene. You know why? Because the 66 Galaxy 500 had bucket seats. That's what made it a 500. What he had was a regular 66 Galaxy, and they couldn't even get that fucking right. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but like, this is supposed to be like this masterpiece that all these critics are fucking loving, and I'm like, this is shite. I said, I don't even think having Alan Tudyk in this movie will save it for me at this point. I said, and then like when they're driving and Tobey Maguire starts giving the backstory of his parents, I'm like, oh, let me guess, this is a whole bullshit story. I mean, it was kind of a given the moment he said, I come from Carvel, Pennsylvania. I'm like, really? 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 This is Tom Carvel for the bullshit fucking backstory. And then I just, the moment Robert Downey Jr. fucking careened and the whole manuscript went flying out, I went, I can't with this fucking movie. Like, I was just like, I was expecting that to be in one of the other movies we watched today, not this. And I thought it had the most eye-rollingest of fucking endings. And fuck this movie. Oh, and Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes is a powerhouse. Katie Holmes was, I want to fuck my professor for 2 hours. That's all she was.
I do have some things to say about that.
It was literally like, oh, this was the fucking prototype for the character Katie Holmes played in Thank You for Smoking. That's all it was. I'm done.
All right,
Greg.
Okay, so I have seen this movie before. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend this weekend how my Bible in like high school, early college was Entertainment Weekly. So anything that they talked about, I sought it out to watch it. And this was definitely one of the movies.
Yeah.
And I had Netflix DVD mail like, right from the beginning, so I'm pretty sure that's where I picked this one up from. And I always remembered, I liked it. I haven't seen it since, so it's been 25 years. And it's your average early aughts indie with some big actors and younger upstart actors in it. It's fine. Like, it's got some good performances. Curtis Hanson is probably a better director than he's given credit for. LA Confidential is pretty amazing. 8 Mile is way better than it should be. So, I don't know what the last thing he's done is. I don't really remember, but I don't have a ton of notes. I will play devil's advocate with the dog scene. Let me trying to get into this. I know a lot of people have trouble with animals being killed on screen. In any case, doesn't matter what the scene implication is or anything else. Dogs, cats, they're like, I'm out if that's happens. And shy of like torturing animals, I don't have a problem with it, especially because I know it's a movie, it's not real. So I kind of still divorce myself from that a little bit. But I will say, I don't think they totally play that scene off for a joke. I think they play it to really show you how kind of marginally fucked up Tobey Maguire's character is, because without the scene before it, I would agree with Joe. When he sees Michael Douglas sees the gun in Tobey Maguire's hand, and he says, "Oh, it's only a pop gun. It's got pops in it, and I ran out of them, so it doesn't work anymore." He's even lying about a gun being real, and that's the biggest lie in the whole movie, really, because who cares about where your backstory is, or if your parents or your grandparents or this or that? You're holding a fucking firearm and lying about it. So the shock to where it goes off and it's actually a gun, and Michael Douglas's character should react way crazier than he does. In fact, he should probably call the police right there. So I do have some problems with like the script. Like playing a dead dog for a joke is not.
There's not the only likable character in this entire fucking movie is Ula the waitress. Every other character is fucking unlikable as shit.
I'm trying to think. I do have a lot of problems with the way the characters are written. Like, so Michael Douglas's character is supposed to be this like highly intelligent professor and author that people admire, and it doesn't come across at all. Like, he doesn't seem particularly intelligent, especially with what everything he does in the movie, like outside of a classroom. I don't understand why Katie Holmes does throw like the signals at him, like, I want you, because why would you? I mean, if anything, you living with him should make you see that he's just kind of a fucking loser. I mean, like other than being an author who really hasn't been able to crack much into the market anymore. It's just very weird. I mean, if I'm a professor, there's no way I'm even renting out a room to Katie Holmes, because that could just go south. That's the only place that can go is south.
And I
say
never
that
understood the whole, like, he comes back and she's throwing a rager in his fucking house. Like,
it just, again, like this, my biggest problem with this movie is not the acting, which I don't think is all pretty well acted. It's just, it's in script and character development. I think the only character that's written really well, I guess,
like the professor's manuscript. It goes nowhere.
I guess Tobey Maguire's character is written pretty well, and just because, you know, that's what they want him to be, this like kind of fucked up kid, and you know, he's got some really dark places in his mind. Even when he laughs in the auditorium,
American Beauty did it better.
True, I guess, but you know, even Katie Holmes' character, they make her just seem. They try to make her seem wiser above her years, and it's like, at what extent does that prove? Where's the proof in that? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's really weird. Now I get why you cast Katie Holmes in the part. I mean, there was no bigger fan of Katie Holmes in the late '90s than myself. I will still go back and watch, and you know, feel very happy inside.
She was definitely a Kentucky Fried Chicken snack pack.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, but yeah, I mean, again, did I hate this? No. Is it amazing? I didn't think so. I think it's right in there with like your average indie back then. I don't think the indie space really started doing anything amazing until a couple of years later. I mean, I guess there are a couple of other movies, maybe even earlier on, that are a lot better in the indie space, but I don't know. Like I said, good acting. Script has a lot of issues for me. Mark seems to love a Frances McDormand film. I will say that.
That was the other thing I couldn't buy, was Frances McDormand's like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, you're 50.
She probably wasn't back then. 25 years ago, I think even in 2000, I think people looked older than they were. I would imagine for Frances McDormand is 30.
By the way,
probably 35.
By the way, Greg, the last thing that Curtis Hanson did was Chasing Mavericks in 2012, and then he died in 2016.
And I
Chasing Mavericks. What is Chasing Mavericks?
Hold on.
Is that a movie or a show?
It was a movie.
I completely forgot that he passed away.
Yeah, he passed in 2016. Chasing Mavericks. Michael Apted is American biographical drama film about the life of American surfer Jay Moriarty.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I you know, this is fine. I do think it's wild that just 25 years ago, the vernacular was still transvestite. I mean, I was like, holy shit. I mean, it's not 1990, it's 2000. but anyway,
okay, sorry, she was 44 when this movie filmed.
Oh, so that's way older than I even thought. Okay, so she's close to 50 then. That's fine. I mean, she could still get pregnant. I just, again, even like the relationship, it's like, I mean, it's not like he's the hottest guy. I mean,
right.
To even, you know, I don't know. Again,
script no one was likable. No one.
Script has issues. I do agree.
Maybe
I don't
Alan
really.
Tudyk.
Yeah, my only other note was, oh shit, early Alan Tudyk sighting, but that was pretty much it. But yeah, like I said, again, solid movie. I don't think. I mean, now that I've seen it twice, probably nothing I'd ever watch again. But it's it's not bad. Not bad. Me saying I won't watch a movie ever again is not a bad thing in the time we live in. I mean, I need to watch 5 movies a week just to keep up with new things, let alone watch something old. So that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Mark,
right,
flash
dealer.
those cards.
Show your cards, Mark.
All right. I'm going to show my cards. I can't, there's not really too much else I can say because I happen to agree with both of your criticisms. However, the reason I chose this is because in spite of these criticisms, which are all valid, I still really find this movie to be absolutely charming. it's an anomaly. It's one of those movies where it's like you can see all the holes, all the problems, all the issues, casting, character, fucking motivation, all kinds of stuff. There's something about this movie I just really, really like. I find it very charming. So I chose this because I wanted to have a discussion about its flaws, its issues. Like there are many, many flaws. However, I have seen this movie a bunch of times, and I really like living in this little world for a couple hours. And I guess maybe maybe my tastes should be reassessed. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. There's something about this. I just like it.
I don't knock anyone for liking something, especially if you recognize the flaws in it, because I could pick 10 movies next season where I'm like, I like this and I recognize every single glaring wart that is all over it and why it's a 4.8 on IMDb from users. I could pick 10 movies like that. So and this is not even one of those, because like you said, critics really liked this when it came out, and I assume a lot of people still watching it would still like it.
It's got like 83% on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, what the fuck?
But that makes sense though, because if you think back to like 2000,
audience score, not critic score.
Oh well, that seems a little bit high, but
yeah.
But
yeah, it does seem a little bit high, actually.
It's a little bit high. Yeah, like I'd probably like it's a 3 out of 5 for me, so 6 out of 10 probably. If you asked me before I even rewatched it what I thought I would be rating it, I'd probably say like 7 out of 10, because I never thought it was like the most amazing thing. I definitely at this time too made it a point to really watch a lot of like indie movies into the 2000s. I think I've seen way more of the Indian movies in that era than I did the blockbusters. Like I definitely did not watch a lot of the big movies in late 90s, early 2000s. So
okay. Well, I just thought it would be cool to discuss like an anomaly in my movie taste, which is that it's full of flaws, but for some reason when I watch it, I'm just like enchanted somehow. It's really,
it's
someone
Downey
giving it 4 thumbs down.
Downey just sprinkles that charm over Mark. Downey might have had him in bed with him, like with her. That's the other weird thing about this. Like, I don't even get Downey's character much, at least from his like sexuality or sexual proclivities.
He was your typical fucking early 2000s half in the closet fucking New York fucking urbanite.
I guess, but
I think, yeah.
But then, like, why is Toby in the bed with? I don't know.
Yeah, the fact that
it's Michael Douglas says at one point, he's like, sometimes he's gay, sometimes he's not.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's all weird. It's all weird.
I felt like Robert Downey Jr.'s character was kind of taking advantage of this kid. I don't know how old he was. I hope he's over 18.
He's a sophomore in college, so that's
let's say,
so he's 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 1920.
But I felt like it was ambiguous.
He got into the bar. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. Wonder Boys.
I wonder why I had to watch this.
I also would like to mention the dog shit Bob Dylan song that won an Oscar on this soundtrack.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's bad. Fuck you. It's bad.
It's not that
This is horse shit, dog shit.
When does that play in the movie?
The opening credits.
Yeah.
Oh, the opening credits. I didn't even.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't have any opinion on it because I didn't even really register.
That's exactly the problem. It's forgettable dreck. And it won an Oscar. Fuck that shit.
I also had
of all things for this to win an Oscar for, it's the bullshit. Old man singing in the fuck that shit.
That's Bob Dylan.
Right, that's Bob Dylan, bro.
Does that deserve an Oscar? No.
Well, I'm not saying. Yeah,
I mean, we would probably have to look at what other songs were nominated that year.
I don't even give a shit. The fact that this even got nominated, I'm done.
I'm actually gonna look this up now.
Do it, man.
Yeah, I have the Oscars page always open on my always open.
So it was what do you call it? Oh, so it must have been 2001 because 2000 was South Park.
Oh,
Things Have Changed by Bob Dylan won. The other nominees were A Love Before Time by Tan Dunn and James Shamus, I've Seen It All by Bjork and Lars von Trier, My Funny Friend and Me by Sting, Things Have Changed, and A Fool in Love by Randy Newman. So look at all the other crap that was going up against.
Ooh. I might stand corrected because I've never heard of any of that.
If I could get past Bob Dylan.
I mean, I'd probably give it to Dancer in the Dark.
I would give it to anything that didn't sound like an old man coughing into a microphone for 3 minutes.
I'll never forget the one time Mark was in my car and on my iPod I had the Peter Gabriel tribute album had just come out. It was a dual album where it was Peter Gabriel doing covers and then people doing covers of Peter Gabriel songs. It was called Scratch My Back and I'll Scratch Yours. And I just remember the fucking track came out of Randy Newman doing Big Time and Mark was like, turn this fucking shit off right now.
When you said it's a Randy,
I still stand by that.
When you said it's a Randy, you said it's a Randy Newman song. You said Randy Newman song. I thought it was like from like Toy Story or something. No, it's from Meet the Parents.
It was from Meet the Parents. Yeah.
Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, you know they thought about how well he did when he did the theme for Parenthood. They're like, well, this is Parents too, so he could do it.
Oh,
it's
man.
definitely not the Crest commercial song. Love disease, not.
It's not. It's no. I Love L.A.
You guys ever see that Mad TV sketch where Will Sasso plays Randy Newman singing?
Which time? He did it like 14 fucking times.
No, he did the Star Wars songs.
Oh, okay. No,
that's
there was one where he did
favorite
Randy Newman talking to Kenny Rogers, and it was.
Oh.
Yeah,
I never saw that.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, but the Kenny Rogers shit he did was also one of my favorite the stuff from Mad TV ever. Yeah, Kenny Rogers Jackass. There's all kinds of shit.
Cry like a baby.
Will Sasso is he's one of my favorite entertainers.
Yeah, you haven't watched Super Troopers 2.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah, he's one of the Mounties. He's fucking great.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I personally champion the Three Stooges movie.
Oh yeah,
that Fairleys did because I think he is so good in that.
I think the whole premise of that, I think that movie that movie deserves better than what people shit on for it. Like it was a solid movie.
I agree. I absolutely agree, and I think he's the main reason for me why it works so good. He's just so good.
Yeah. But yeah, getting back to if you are interested in viewing Wonder Boys, there's not a lot of options. It's currently available to stream for free on Hoopla, and it is available to purchase on demand on Apple TV and Google Play for a steep price.
It's also on Kanopy.
Is it on Kanopy? I couldn't find it on the thing. Okay, so I'll change the
Kanopy.
graphic.
One of the two services has it in 4:3. I don't know why.
Okay.
Not widescreen.
But yeah,
so.
like Google Play and Apple TV, it's $14.99 to buy outright.
Oh shit! Maybe my research was wrong, because when I put it on my list of movies for this season, it was streaming somewhere.
I mean, it probably was at the time. I mean, it's a Paramount movie. You would think
It's a Paramount movie.
Yeah.
Plus.
It makes no. I don't understand
20-year-old
any of this shit.
movie.
I don't understand any of this stuff. If you fire up like Universal movies and Paramount movies, and they're like, why are they not on these services? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's not going to be the last time we mention that in this episode.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so moving on, before we get to our next selection. Spring has sprung. The days are getting longer, the weather's warming up, and it's the perfect time to shake off that winter slump and get back into rhythm. Whether you're diving into new projects, getting back outside, hitting the gym, or just locking in for a fresh round of movie reviews and content, you need energy that keeps up. And that's why we here at the Full Circle Radio Network roll with DUBBY Energy. I got another new shaker. No sugar, no maltodextrin, no artificial flavors. Just clean, steady energy from coffee fruit extract and B vitamins. It's smooth, it's reliable, and it keeps you focused without that crash that slows you down. And the flavors are perfect for the season. Watch this magic trick. You got stuff like Dragonade. You got stuff like Grandma's Lemonade. And you got stuff like Push and Punch. Bright, refreshing, and exactly what you want when you're stepping into something new. So if you're ready to spring forward with better energy, head over to dubby.gg, scan that QR code on your screen, or hit the direct link in the description below, and use the promo code FULLCIRCLERADIO for 10% off your order. Don't be a dummy. Get yourself a tubby a dubby. DUBBY Energy. Be better. Spring is sprung. Oh. Yeah, I was all happy. I got the tub of Push and Punch, and they sent me a free shaker. So I've got like 4 DUBBY shakers.
Cool. Shout out to Joe for sharing some of his DUBBY with me.
Yes.
In conveniently small Ziploc baggies, so that when he poured it into it, looked exactly like cocaine. And when Mark got pulled over,
packet in it.
And when Mark got pulled over for running a red light and happened to have these baggies in the passenger seat, he wasn't questioned at all about them. So let's just say I'm a fan of DUBBY.
Listen, one of them I gave you was a sample stick, so you can't blame me for that.
Correct.
But the other ones came from tubs, so I had to put them in something, and that's why I put the silica gel packet in, so it didn't look like.
Yup.
Oh God. Oh boy. Moving along.
Yes.
In the order that goes, next up on the finale is Greg. What was your selection?
Someone mentioned the Farley brothers already. It's Farley Brothers Kingpin from 1998. Six.
1996. That's interesting. We referenced the Farley Brothers movie already.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
96.
From the idiots that brung you Dumb and Dumber.
You wouldn't happen to have a Phillips head screwdriver, would you?
He's the man with the rubber hand.
Oh, creepy.
He's the Amish kid with the golden arm.
Whoa! You could be a champion.
I'm just not interested.
You suck!
Now, these two pinheads will teach each other
Can you just feel it?
about life in the fast lane.
You're about to embark on a great adventure.
Does anyone else want one?
No, I'll take a couple jugs. Mug.
Woody Harrelson.
What have you been doing all these years?
Drinking.
Randy Quaid.
This is pretty good fun for only $2.99 a minute.
Vanessa Angel.
Get your hands off me!
And big bad Bill Murray.
Watch the door.
Get your mind in the gutter.
I will pay you $1 million to sleep with your friend here.
Kingpin.
Are you still drinking?
No. I don't. That's behind me now. Why are you buying?
Released in 1996, Kingpin was written by Barry Finaro and Mort Nathan, directed by the Farrelly brothers, starring Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid, and Bill Murray. On a budget of $25 million, its worldwide box office is $32.2 million. The synopsis is an amateur state bowling champion whose professional aspirations are prematurely dashed when he gets Munson, hopes to ride a new bowling prodigy to success and riches by becoming his manager. Dealer's choice, Greg.
I will also hold.
Okay. Mark, you go first since I went first on the last one.
Okay, no problem. So, I saw this when it came out in theaters, and it was the big follow up to Dumb and Dumber for the Farrellys, and I really think this is extremely funny. Like, it's extremely well written and just a really clever little comedy. Like, not all the jokes land. Some of them land pretty hard and like a thud. They're not all great. They're not all winners. But the ones that do, I think, are really, really great. And there's a lot to like about this. I mean, the soundtrack is really good also. I will mention that. That's kind of a common theme with the Farrellys. I'm just going to go through my notes right now. I wrote, Vanessa Angel's American accent is holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
I wrote, I love how the term getting Munson is a phrase people commonly use, but Roy Munson has never heard of it. It got me every time. It got me, and they throw it in random places. I like the part where Ish is slow dancing with a woman in a bar for the first time, and they're playing just like kind of like slow dance music, and he goes, "So this is rock and roll." Like, I thought that was really funny, just how naive his character was because he was Amish. There's very quotable lines. I think there's a lot of really good like punchlines and like setups and punchlines and like buttons on scenes that I thought were really good. However, I have criticisms. My major criticism is that this movie runs way too long. Way too long. It's almost 2 hours long, which is a good like half hour longer than any silly comedy like this should be.
Tougher comedies to hit 2 hours.
Yeah. And there are goddamn so many montages. There's so many. And some of them, like a couple of them, like have the same theme where it's like people playing pranks on each other.
That was a running theme in a lot of mid-90s movies where they were really trying to push sales of the soundtrack. So they threw in a lot of montages so they could feature soundtracks from the soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but I mean, I think this movie was edited horribly. I mean, you
I think the American Pie sequels have that, Joe. Like a lot of those montages with like, needle drop montages.
Well, even though this was like overly long, I still got the feeling that scenes were cut out here and there. That there was missing scenes, like when they go to the bar and Randy Quaid is dancing in like a woman's outfit. And then suddenly it cuts to him in the car. It felt like there was a scene where they would convince him to come with them. You know what I mean? It just felt very uneven and poorly edited. Let's see. Oh, one example of an unnecessary scene is that stupid fucking indecent proposal sequence. Like that, it's like a
But
full.
that
like,
was that was the gag, dude.
It derailed the flow of the movie, the momentum.
It was the gag because it was Woody Harrelson.
I get it, but it didn't belong there. It didn't belong there. That's not funny. It's not funny. 30 years later, that is not a funny scene. I'm sorry.
It doesn't play particularly well because you have to know, you have to get it's such an inside joke at that point because we're 30 years
not
removed.
really, because it was only like a year or two after Indecent Proposal had come out.
No, I don't care when it came out.
No. I'm saying now.
Work.
I'm saying now. We're 30 years removed from Indecent Proposal.
Yeah.
If you don't, you probably don't have any idea what that movie is. Like
it's an outdated, stale joke that like the Scary Movie parodies. It's like, this is a parody of a Nike commercial that was
or
popular
any of
at the
the
time.
underscore movies.
Yeah, that does not hold up, and I give that a huge demerit for such a stupid joke like that. Let's see what else. Here's another example of a scene that went on way too long for no reason. Is in the third act when they're doing like the big fucking a tournament together, and you're at this point you should be caring about, like, even though it's a comedy, I get it, you should still be caring a little bit about, like, as far as the momentum of a screenplay goes, like what's happening. He's Bill Murray's ahead and Woody Harrelson's behind, and then this happens and this happens, and in the middle of it all comes out this fucking the Morgana, the kissing bandit woman, who comes out and is like, I gotta give you a kiss. Come over here, kiss me. And then she goes to Bill Murray and is like, you're gonna kiss me now. That was a celebrity woman named Morgana, the kissing bandit.
Yeah.
She was a celebrity at the time. Yeah. They gave her a cameo that was not funny, did not propel the plot. And for anyone born after 1995 has no fucking clue what is going on.
I don't even remember the scene. I don't even remember the scene.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray, like, his big gag is like, come here and give me a kiss.
It was the chick with the big Mr. Gnome hunkers.
I just don't remember. It was so whatever that I can't even remember it. Like,
it had nothing to do with anything. And I'm looking at the running time and it's going on 2 hours. And I'm going, who edited this? For real. For real. Well, did a shitty job. So let's see. What else? What else?
You can't back that up.
Also, one of the big detractors for this was that Bill Murray was absent for the entire second act. From early on to very late in the story, he was gone. And the way they set him up is that he's a rival. And I'm going, I want to see how these two guys progress. What kind of fucking shenanigans do these two rivals get into? And they just completely excise Bill Murray out of the film until the end. And I thought that was a real cheat to the audience to show that and then not.
I don't think you can do. I don't think it works otherwise, though. Only because
it doesn't.
Because if Woody Harrelson stays in, like, the bowling career, and then it's like these guys back and forth for a while,
but the thing
he's
is,
completely
he's
out
gone
of it.
From it. And
he's gone.
So he's not on the circuit. He has nothing to do with it. He is wallowing in drunkenness in Scranton. Like,
no, this is my thing though. I think the guy that's the male counterpart to Vanessa Angel's character, that should have been Bill Murray.
Oh, okay.
Why was it this random fucking guy you never heard of or ever? That should have been Bill Murray.
That would make sense. I mean, other than the fact that they play him more like a gangster So you'd have to really.
He's not really a gangster.
A simple rewrite.
He's just a fucking spoiled rich dude.
A simple rewrite could have made this a lot tighter.
But Bill Murray also, knowing Bill Murray, he was probably like, "Yeah, you got me for a week, 2 weeks."
Well,
like,
that's fine, but story-wise, leaves me cold.
Mm.
And his chemistry was really good with Woody Harrelson. And I mean, Bill Murray, you can see him. You can tell when Bill Murray phones in a performance. He was really fucking on fire. Like he was firing on all cylinders. You can like the scene where early on, where Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray are in a diner together when they're young. And they're just
that
sitting
perfume before you come back over.
They're just sitting having breakfast, and there's so many good lines where he's like, "Yeah, do me a favor before you come back to our table, wash off that perfume." Or when Woody Harrelson's eating the pudding or whatever it is, he goes, "You know what? Why don't you take that outside and come back in?" That's funny. Why would you take a character like that and take him out of the whole second act of the movie?
Because it doesn't work if you have him in, dude.
It just felt like a missed opportunity, but I'm not trashing this movie because of that. I still find it to be an extremely well-written comedy. Like, it's very funny. There's a lot of good shit in this, and it's just too long. And I think they had some story structure issues, but it's still damn good. I will say that. And my only other note was, this film ends with the Blues Traveler song called "But Anyway." They have a Blues Traveler cameo. They missed a really good opportunity for a joke. They should have used the song "Hook." The hook brings you back. Why didn't you fucking use the Hook song?
Because they couldn't get the rights to it because
I don't even care. Why bother if you couldn't get the rights?
Because "But Anyway" was off of Blues Traveler's first album, which was
very first album
label. And
but by '96 they had their big album, and Hook was on it.
4 was on a different label, so they couldn't. It was a rights differential that they couldn't
then get a different band to cameo. Why would you have a band with a hit single called Hook?
Also, Hook didn't hit until after this movie.
I don't give a shit, dude.
Runaround was the big hit when this movie came out. Not Hook.
Yeah, Runaround.
I didn't at that point. I was what is this 96? I was 16. I'd never even fucking heard of Blues Traveler. If they had played Hook, I would have been like, "Oh, that's a catchy song." I don't give a shit what they're playing.
Wasn't even an inkling of being a single when this movie was being filmed, dude.
Dude, if I had a band in my movie about a guy with a hook for a hand and they make multiple jokes about it,
dude,
and they don't play the song Hook,
maybe they wrote it on set.
Whatever, dude. But
this is like bitching about them having Led Zeppelin not playing "Stairway to Heaven" when they hadn't written it yet. Like, dude,
this
you can't
come out already. The Blues Traveler with the fucking Runaround. This was out when this came out. Check the timeline, and they beefed it. They fucking ruined it. They could have had a great opportunity. Anyway, that's just my little quibble. But that's my review.
They were recording that album when this movie was being filmed.
I have it as 95 as being released for the song, and this came out in 96.
Number one, actually, timing doesn't match. Number two, like I said, different fucking record labels.
It is the record label part. It's not the timing, because apparently, I looked it up. This movie this Ford came out January 1st, 1994. So yeah, but it's the rights issue, which is fine. But I didn't even put two and two together, Mark. But that's a good call. And actually, I think Hook is not just a great Blues Traveler song. I think Hook is one of the best pop songs ever written. So
really.
I don't care. Well, if you listen, it's always been my favorite Blues Traveler song.
Well, yeah, but if you
before this movie even came out,
if you dive into the lyrics of Hook and like look at what he's saying. It's pretty brilliant pop music writing. But
well, it was a satire of pop music. It was never supposed to be a single, too.
Yeah, but when you satire things so well that you almost make it a perfect thing you're satirizing, it ends up being huge. And just look at Blur's song 2 for that same thing. So
all right, so can I get into my stuff now?
Go right ahead.
Go for it.
So yeah, I watched this movie a bunch of times. There was a time where I didn't like this movie. The reason I didn't like it is because I missed it in the theaters, and all I ever saw was the edited for television version on Comedy Central, which chops it the fuck up so badly that
really?
you cannot follow literally, it gets to the part where I don't know what the choices were, but they chopped out the subplot of the brother going to find Ishmael. So literally it's like Ishmael leaves when Woody Harrelson and Vanessa Angel are fighting, and then Vanessa Angel's gone out of nowhere, and then it's just the bowling tournament, and Ishmael's not even there. And nothing works. It was a really bad choppy edit.
That's because of the runtime.
Right, it was edited for runtime.
So they're trying to make a 2-hour movie, 2 hours on TV, so you have to cut out almost 40 minutes.
Right, and so I was like, this movie makes no fucking sense. It wasn't until I actually rented it on rented it at Hollywood or something one day where I was like, where was all this stuff every time it was on TV? So so when I actually got to see the full version, I was like, this is all right. It does wrap up almost everything in a nice little bow. The only qualm I ever had about this movie, this is the only qualm I had about it. See, I have no issue with Bill Murray disappearing from the time Woody Harrelson loses his hand until the $1 Million Tournament, because that's the way it should be. It was the guy that got you knocked out of this business that ruined your life. When someone ruins your life and goes on to success, you don't keep fucking seeing them at every turn. So for him to turn up there, that's the more serendipitous meeting.
Right, but there was nothing about Bill Murray's character interwoven, so at least you get an idea of where his career's going. He just vanishes.
And that's the thing, is it comes out of nowhere, and he comes back. It's like, oh, he's been doing this shit all these years, and he's been basically going around like Johnny Appleseed, fucking knocking up chicks on the PDA tour for the past 7 years. And that was the only qualm that I have about this movie, is that Big Ern McCracken never gets any comeuppance. He wins the championship. I'm not saying Woody Harrelson should have won, but he wins the championship, and he's basically like, I'm untouchable. There should have been something in the epilogue where it's just like, oh, by the way, he lost every single fucking penny of that and all these paternity suits because all of these kids that he's sponsoring are his actual fucking biological kids. That should have been a plot point for me, is that Big Ern McCracken gets fucked in the end.
I can see that. I can see that.
It always irked me that they never covered, everything else got wrapped up with such a fucking bow except that. And I'm like, I'm not, fine, let him win the tournament. That's fine. But let him get fucked afterwards.
Somehow. Anyway,
Right, have Stanley go after him and fucking shoot him in the fucking kneecap or some shit.
Something, yeah.
Right, something, because it's like, okay, Woody ends up with Vanessa Angel, and they save the farm, and all that. He gets because he does the noble thing. He gets the fucking he gets the sponsorship money, and he helps the Amish people with it. So he found his heart. Yada yada.
Yeah, what if he got into a random altercation somewhere that happened to destroy his bowling hand? He gets mugged or something, and his hand gets mangled. Anything,
right? But I mean, but going through it, I always thought that the bald wig Woody Harrelson wears such a terrible bald wig. It's so fucking blatantly obvious. I mean, Bill Murray's the way his is played off is funny.
Bill Murray's hair is a big character in this movie, and it's funny
because there's the little kicker right at the beginning when they're hustling in the beaver.
He says, "I'll never lose my hair."
Right, he's just like the time. He's like, the day this guy can pick up a 710 is the day I start losing my hair. I was just like, oh yeah, there's a foreshadow. And that's an actual bowling alley too. Like the Beaver Lanes, like that's an actual fucking place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said it's always good to see Lin Shaye in a non-horror movie role. Like it was
She's
always
great.
good. The Farrelly brothers. Yeah.
She's
like,
in all the Farrelly. She was the owner of the dog or whatever in Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked Lin Shaye, and like it's because a lot of people like they only associate her with horror, and they think that she only got into the business because her brother was a producer, but she
What really?
Bob Shaye is the guy who owns New Line Cinema.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Lin Shaye's his sister. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she's great whether she's connected or not. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Always.
I had the same thing where I said a lot of these sight gags just aren't funny still. Like, it felt like a lot of the sight gags that they used were like outtakes that they didn't use in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Like him taking a dump in the urinal and shit. I'm like, this is no.
You know what I hated? There was one sight gag that I hated, and it was during a montage where Woody Harrelson, Vanessa Angel, and Randy Quaid they're in a car going on a road trip, and then you see Randy Quaid has up to this point been smoking cigarettes, and you see them offer him a cigarette, and he goes, "No, I don't want it."
He's got a bong.
And he's got a bong. When did he start smoking marijuana out of a bong?
Right.
Came out of nowhere.
It was like, bro, you're way past age for Rumspringa. What the fuck?
Yeah, stuff was missing. Stuff was missing out of this.
There was some stuff missing. There was. I thought it was definitely a choice, and I think it was done on purpose. The fact that everyone else is wearing bald caps while Chris Elliott has a full head of hair.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
that is
I was
so
like,
funny.
that had to have been done as a choice.
That is so funny.
And the thing was, so Freedy Johnston was the composer and the guy who compiled the soundtrack, and he just shoved himself into as much of this as possible. This soundtrack had the one fucking like top 40 hit that Freedy Johnston had.
What?
Yeah, the one that I'm on the street, 7 years disappeared. Do you want me now? That was on the fucking top 30
Dude.
when this album came out.
Dude, that's in my notes.
That's
in my notes. I'm like, I haven't heard that song in forever. Like, what a needle drop.
I had the soundtrack. Like, I had the sound. Why? Because it had Blues Traveler. It had Goldfinger. It had
It's a good soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack. It's a solid soundtrack. This was at that time where like from like 92 to like 99, like they really put stock in soundtracks for any movies that were like trying to like crossbreed on a fucking audience, like anything comedy or anything teen oriented. Like they tried to make sure everything had a good soundtrack.
A lot of Adam Sandler films at that time.
A lot of Adam Sandler. I mean,
kick-ass
stuff like
soundtrack.
fucking Reality Bites, Clerks, Threesome, The Crow.
Yep.
Like they made sure they stocked those soundtracks.
Even Batman Forever was like they poured tons of money into that.
Oh
soundtrack.
yeah.
Kiss from a Rose, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, Kiss from a Rose, and
that existed already. That was from like a 1993 album, and they put it on the Batman Forever album like it was their original single.
Yeah, but I mean, it made him more money.
Fuck yeah, and it's a good song.
It can help us forget about the R. Kelly song on that soundtrack.
Fucking Gotham City.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that people like. I learned a lot about this movie over the past few years because I'm just going to do a share screen here. I can't suggest that it's a 3-part documentary series that I can't suggest enough, and that's hold on here. Time Warp, the greatest cult films of all time, and they talked a lot about this in Volume 3, which was for comedy and camp movies. And they talked to there's a lot of interview with Mort Nathan in it, I believe, where he talks about like everything they went through trying to get this movie greenlit, and how like they went to a financier after Dumb and Dumber had come out. And like he was like, "Oh, I'm working with the Farrelly brothers," and the guy was like, "Oh, the Farrelly brothers, like, you know, let me know what you're working on or whatever." And he was like, "Oh, it's a movie about bowling or whatever," and he was like, "I don't care what it is, I'll finance it." And like greenlit it, set on scene, but then like he brought him the script and he's like, I fucking love this. So, you know, at least that was a positive. But one of the funniest things that he talked about was that he's like we're spending, you know, days on end in a bowling alley. So, you know, so we're all bowling. We're all bowling our own, you know, lanes and stuff, you know. So, you know, everybody, you know, you kind of get better. You know, you keep bowling, you kind of get better, doing better. Woody Harrelson never got fucking better at bowling. The whole time was still doing like weird. I'm like, you know, I started bowling. I was bowling like 150. I got up to like 200. Woody Harrelson constantly like 30, 40. Like. So that's why a lot of Woody Harrelson scenes, you see a lot of cutaways because Woody never got better at bowling while they were doing it. And I always found that really funny. I also know that the Farrelly brothers have like the Farrelly brothers blame the fact that this movie didn't do well, that it got released during the summer of '96, and they were like everyone was watching the Summer Olympics, so no one was going to the theaters.
No.
I know that's a cop out. Like,
yeah, I saw plenty of movies in the summer.
Right, like the summer of '96 was a hell of a summer. Like you kind of, you know, had a shit luck of the draw on what you were going against. Yeah. What's fucking so originally, and I don't know who he was supposed to play, but Michael Richards was supposed to get cast in this movie in a major role. He went to the Farrelly brothers' office and. To do like a script read, and in the middle of it he said, "Do you mind if I go use your bathroom?" And they were like, "Sure." And then they were waiting, and like 40 minutes later they were like, "What the fuck is?" So they barged into the bathroom, and he had fucking snuck out the window. What? Because he didn't want to like tell them like, I think this movie is shit and I don't want to do it. He just bitched out and jumped out the fucking window.
You can do that?
But well, I mean, Michael Richards' life is explained far from itself.
I think the only character that makes sense for him is the boyfriend of Vanessa Angel.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Because he's the guy who plays the boyfriend of Vanessa Angel. He was in Dumb and Dumber, I think. He's been in Farrelly movies before, but like in minor characters. And when I saw him, I was like, oh. They're giving him this role?
I know the Farrelly brothers have said that 100% of Bill Murray's lines in this were ad-libbed.
I don't believe that, but
they said it on the director's commentary on DVD. They were like everything he did was ad-libbed. They're like there was like some punch up of like something around what he should say, like bullet points, but they said everything he said was fucking ad-libbed, including like the commercials that he did. They said everything was Bill Murray ad-libbing.
Interesting.
Yeah. And also, I didn't even realize it, I think, until watching it this time around, but the scene where Randy Quaid's dancing with a chick in the bar and then the guys come in and this is her boyfriend, Skid Mark. I didn't realize that was fucking Roger Clemens.
Yeah, that's a Cam Neely in Dumb and Dumber to Roger Clemens in this movie.
Yeah.
They cast they want a Boston sports star to be like the bad guy, the bully
who's
guy.
the dead man that threw that salt shaker?
Yeah. Common Farrelly theme at the time.
But yeah. I mentioned before Beaver Valley Bowl. It's an actual bowling alley in Rochester, Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I've watched this a bunch of times. I'll probably watch it a bunch of times again. You know, it's decent.
Same.
I love the soundtrack.
And I would recommend this.
Yeah. As you know, as far as Farrelly Brothers movies go, like I'd rather watch this over Dumb and Dumber. I mean, I'm nothing against Dumb and Dumber, but it's just like you have to really be in the fucking mood for that movie. Whereas this, you can just kind of throw on.
Yeah. Well, they didn't write this. It was based on a script by other people. And I think that's maybe why this works in a lot of ways that Dumb and Dumber doesn't. Is that they didn't write the script.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, dealer, share your cards.
Yeah, I've never seen this, so I forced one.
What?
Yeah, you know what? It's just one of those weird blind spots, like that. Even when I was in college, so you know, it came out in '96. Even when I was in college, like 98, 99, my brothers would like make references to it, and I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and my brother would be like, dude, like you have to watch this. I'm like, oh, all right. I mean, I don't know, and like I just never have.
Wow.
And it's always been one where I'm like, I see the poster all the time, like, and the people talk about it, or I'll see it in a YouTube video or something. And I'm like, I've seen like, obviously I've seen like the trailer when I was, going to movies back then, and I know the Bill Murray thing. I knew Woody Harrelson had, lost his hand, and I knew the general gist of the story, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know. So this, I like I said, a lot of the times I'm just like, I'm going to use this podcast to force myself to, finally sit down and see something. So, yeah, I thought you guys would react the same way when I said I had never seen it. So, yeah. So let me get to my notes. I have to say, I wish I had seen it when I was younger, because it obviously does not hit for you first time viewing at this point in time.
30 years later.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the jokes are very Farrelly Brothers, even though it's not written by them. And how their stuff is kind of like, it's a little outdated. But I do think it's a great simple setup right from the jump. Mm-hmm. The father with the kids, and the father with his kid, and it turns out to be, Woody Harrelson ends up being this hotshot bowler. Really good setup. I see Chris Elliott's name in the opening credits. I'm like, oh hell yeah, here we go. I mean, he wasn't in it very much, but that's cool. Of course I saw it got dark real quick.
Yeah.
And then I forget, you guys just mentioned there was a parody of another movie.
Indecent
Proposal.
Not a great one. I thought the Graduate one was pretty good. Not amazing. Not amazing, but pretty good.
With her when she's pulling up her underwear or whatever, and
the landlady leg while he's puking.
Yeah, that was great.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
I already talked about the song that I hadn't heard in a long time. I will say about 10 minutes, maybe right when Woody Harrelson picks up Randy Quaid, I thought maybe that the movie was a little miscast in that they should have played the opposite roles, but then after it starts grooving, I'm like, nah. Like Quaid is making it work. His dumb Amish shtick is hilarious throughout.
Yeah.
Harrelson, even though the wig, the bald piece might be bad looking, he almost looks like he looks now. So like it really it works. It definitely works. So I had the same Roger Clemens note, all the soundtrack stuff. I think the most surprising thing in the whole entire movie, or just most surprising thing in my movie watching career at this point now, is that Randy Quaid kind of had a good physique at one point in time, which I did not know. Even in like Vacations, he's like he had pot belly, he's kind of fat, like slobberly. Yeah, he looked kind of decent. I did comment how Murray is somehow what Donald Trump was, but without the money.
Yeah.
Like if Trump didn't have his dad's money and was just kind of like doing the thing in like bowling alleys, he'd just be the same kind of fucking dude. Like especially with the hair later on, it's just it's a lot of foreshadowing. I did say my one detraction from the whole thing, story wise, which again, it's a comedy, keep it loose on the story, whatever. Doesn't really make a lot of sense that Munson can all of a sudden start bowling with a plastic hand. Couldn't he have just done that for like the last 25 years? Like,
I think it's the fact that he was so distraught and gave up that he never even bothered to fucking try.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
there should have been a moment where he does finally try with the rubber hand, and you see like
it happens at the tournament.
I can do it.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
It's a little crazy. I almost would have preferred it if he tried to bowl left-handed and he was so good that he could do it left-handed. Like that almost
Yeah,
makes more
even
sense.
that.
That would make more
Also,
sense. Like, oh, I never tried it left-handed, and I'm just as good because I'm such a great bowler. Like,
it was always kind of hard for me to watch this too, because when I was like 13 and 14, I was in the youth Friday night bowling league at Super Bowl lanes in Southington. And there was a dude there who only had one arm and had a hook arm who would fucking bowl, like, who was there like every Friday. And so
I think I've seen that guy before.
Yes, yeah.
I think I've seen that guy
good.
before. There,
he was fucking good, so I always kind of thought of him when Kingpin would come on.
He might have a legit, like, legal fucking claim to this movie.
And then my final note was just that the final bowling sequence is actually shot really well for like comedy guys. Directors, really good. Even does it say it's ESPN or is it just something else?
Yeah,
it's filming it. ESPN. Like that's
I
like
think that Dodgeball never would have been made if it weren't for this movie.
Maybe, but that ESPN
the Ocho.
Yeah, that ESPN segment though is exactly what ESPN looked like back then. Like way back then.
Yeah,
so,
they nailed
not a lot
it.
Of glitz.
They
not a lot of
nailed
glitz and glamour.
They got the right. They got the sportscasters who worked on it too. Which Chris, I always forget his last name, but it's funny how he keeps popping up because he was in this, and then he also did the play-by-play in the remake of The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler version.
That's funny.
So yeah, so I like this. It's again, Mark's completely right. It's 20-30 minutes too long. I'm such a huge Weird Science fan that I watched that USA TV show. So with Vanessa Angel, so I'm familiar with her. Has she been in anything else like other than Weird Science in this? I don't really remember.
A couple things, but not much. I looked into it.
I can't even remember if she. I think she does have the English accent in the British accent in the Weird Science
in the
show.
She does, yeah.
I think so. Yep. Yeah. Not a bad show.
Especially because they wanted her to be Kelly LeBrock. So yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad show, but definitely not as good as the movie. But yeah, no. I mean, this is good. Again, I wish I had seen it before. I think I'd like it, a lot more. But
well, now you have.
Pretty good. Yeah. Now I have.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are interested in watching Kingpin, it's currently available to stream for free on Pluto, Hoopla. It's video on demand for free on Sling TV. It's also available to rent as video on demand on Plex, Fandango at Home, and Apple TV. So you have your choices. All right, so it looks like we're winding down to the last selection of season 3, which was me. And strangely enough, it was also the final wild card of the season.
Yeah, right.
And my selection was 2006's documentary, This Film Is Not Yet Rated.
For 35 years, a secret group has controlled the way you see movies.
There were clergy in the room.
These are moral censors.
They forced great filmmakers to change their art.
I was so devastated.
I got the call and they said NC-17. That's when my blood turned to ice water.
Because the studio won't release your movie.
No advertising budget. You can't run TV spots.
No one's ever found out who they are.
Who is controlling this thing and how are they controlling it?
No one knows. That's the whole point.
Until now.
We're actually hiring a private investigator to try to find out who these people are on the board.
It's time. The MPAA got a rating of its own.
The MPAA is that pinkish color building. There's absolutely no way of going in.
When an Oscar-nominated director
There's somebody.
and a private dick
They're gonna all start coming out. We'll take some plates. That's the camera. It looks just like a little button.
dig deep
Oh, a lot of women. We need to go for this.
I'm gonna put on my safety belt.
He's not even looking. I got him. Right there. Got a raider.
to expose Hollywood's dirtiest secrets.
Whoa! One woman is topless, breast exposed. So what I don't understand is who's counted the Do you ever do interviews at all?
No.
I'm already divulging a lot here. At some point, I think I have to draw a line.
If you're seeing my pubic hair, we get an NC-17.
Violence is fine, sex isn't.
You almost got us caught. They were going, look at that man. Is he filming us?
Discover the movie
You are dealing with a very powerful censorship group.
Hollywood doesn't want you to see.
I'm going to say the F word. It's the fascist system.
This film is not yet rated.
Hi, is this the MPAA? I'd like to submit my film for a rating. It's a documentary. It's about how films are rated.
Censorship gets fucked.
Released in 2006. This film was not yet rated. It was written and directed by Kirby Dick, featuring interviews with the likes of Hollywood directors such as Kevin Smith, John Waters, Matt Stone, and Kimberly Pierce. To this day, the actual budget for this is not known. However, its total box office, being an NC-17 rated movie, was $339,609. The synopsis is Kirby Dick's provocative documentary investigates the secretive and inconsistent process by which the Motion Picture Association of America rates films, revealing the organization's underhanded efforts to control culture. Dick questions whether certain studios get preferential treatment and exposes the discrepancies of how the MPAA views sex and violence. You both held. So Dealer's going to show.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually have a plethora of cards to show for this. There's being a wild card, there's a lot of reasons why I chose this. It wasn't one particular one. One is I find myself suggesting this to people a lot. In fact, the freaking it got brought up in that stupid Facebook group with all the rage baiters that Greg is now ensconced in thanks to me today.
Am I missing out on something cool?
No, you're not. It's people who don't know shit about movies and acting like they know shit about movies. But I find it's one of my favorite documentaries of all time. It's in my, I have like a top 30 documentaries list. This is in it. The fact of we're 3 seasons in and I'm the only person that hadn't put in a documentary yet. So I said, fuck it. So now we all have. Yeah. And finally, I think that we are now 20 years removed from this being released, and it is even more relevant now than it was when it came out. Because
Go ahead, but I'll preface that later.
We live in a post-physical media being the top earner portion of era, where with everything going on streaming now, granted, yes, people still go to the theaters and everything, but the rating system, it's even more pointless now than it was 20 years ago, and it was getting pointless back then. But there's a lot of things about that I'll get into later. But that's basically the overarching reasons why this was my selection. So have that.
All right, so cool, perfect. Because I was gonna say, you were gonna say it's even more relevant now, and I was gonna say, well, I prefaced that with saying the biggest part that makes it not relevant to today is that studios don't give a shit anymore if they get NC-17, because it's no longer NC-17. It's just released, not rated.
Yeah.
And that's proven to not matter. I mean,
Toxic Avenger didn't do that well because it wasn't rated.
If they didn't but it wasn't marketed like
because it wasn't rated, so no one would fucking put up the advertising. But there's still fights over when a big MCU movie comes out, whether it's going to be PG or PG-13, because there's a difference in box office dollars.
I understand that, but okay, take Toxic Avenger out of it. I mean, okay. I don't understand much of that, because they even said before, we can't. They were talking about this movie's unreleasable. That movie's tame.
It was fun.
It was. I mean, I don't see anything unreleasable about that film at all. But, you're a big fan of Terrifier, and Terrifier does just fine with a not rated rating, and they make millions of dollars.
But that was the exception of the rule.
Yeah, but last month, last month A24 releases Pillion with not rated, and it does just fine. I mean, again, doesn't do huge numbers, but it does what normal A24 stuff does. It isn't like a big A24 release. So I don't think this stuff matters. I think more than anything, studios really trap themselves in the studio rating because they say dumb shit like, the Venom movies need to be PG-13. They can't be R. Well, that's just dumb. Like, just make the best movie. Like, Deadpool didn't say we need PG-13. Disney didn't get Deadpool after 2 movies and say it's got to be PG-13 now. That's just stupid. Like,
I think
make the best movie.
I think in that they realized that if they did that, they would have fucked themselves in the ass hard because previous 2 movies that being rated R made money.
But Fox could have said the same thing they said about Fox could have said the same thing that Sony said about Venom and been like, no, we need a PG-13, and then it wouldn't have been as good. Like, and it wouldn't have been. My thing is, listen, make the best movie. If it's an R, it's an R. If it's no, I understand if you're a major studio and you don't want your thing to be not rated, I understand that. Like, is Disney gonna want a not rated Marvel movie? No, I understand that. It makes sense. But I think if a studio as big as A24, because they are the biggest indie label, if they're fine with releasing a S&M, a gay S&M movie not rated, and it was still advertised everywhere. It's got Alexander Skarsgård. He was doing promo for it. He's on SNL for it. Like, so, you could do it. It's just, I want to get back to the film, the documentary. I was not aware that the documentary itself is rated NC-17.
Yeah.
That's complete bullshit.
Oh,
that's just spite.
That was the whole plot. Like, the last 20 minutes was he had to go through the appeal process because they gave it an NC-17, and that's what it. That didn't even register with me because it was at that point it was getting a little bogged down. It was kind of like it's sort of a sprawling documentary. Like, there's a lot going on. So so that didn't even totally register with me, but that's just bullshit because that's just they're saying we don't want your movie to come out or we want the least people to see it. That's not what the rating system should be. That's complete horseshit. He should have sued the shit out of them. That's what I would have done. The problem is you can't. That's
I don't know. So let me preface this by saying I don't know if I've seen this before because like with I just spoke about before, Entertainment Weekly definitely talked about this. I definitely had it on my radar. I think it might have been on HBO or something, like, and I caught it midway
like literally
through.
Like when Netflix first started offering streaming along with DVDs, like this was like on the front page all the time because Netflix produced this, so it was like one of the first things streaming on Netflix.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to mark it on my Letterboxd as a first time watch because I'm not positive. It's just something that I just can't. But I do remember parts of it, so I've definitely seen at least segments of it or saw the. I definitely have seen some of it. I had
interviews.
to. Yeah. So let me just get into it. I just thought my first note was this shit is depressing. B like. I wrote, John Waters, sir. No disrespect, but that choice of mustache highlights your need for orthodontic work. It was becoming a little.
I will not stand any John Waters slander.
I said, John Waters, sir. No disrespect. That was right in my note. No disrespect.
You just pulled a Talladega Nights, motherfucker. With all due respect, and remember, I said with all due respect, you're a piece of shit.
I said. The center doesn't really hold on this one when the copyright infringement starts coming into it, and that's the other thing. Like it's just so much stuff packed into this. If they just keep it to, these people, we don't know who they are. It's not transparent. It ends up being studio people end up being involved, and the biggest takeaway really is that everything is so subjective, and all they really favor is violence over sex, especially gay sex, which is like it's just so stupid. It's like
I've got notes on that. Yeah,
it's dumb. I mean, I said exposing the members of everything is really great. Just really cool
Yeah.
detective work. Really good detective work from like what's seemingly like, I don't know, not the most professional detectives. I didn't think
They were
but
independent private investigator. He found on the fucking Yellow Pages.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good documentary, especially in, again, early aughts, right?
Yeah, 2006.
You know, these things. I think documentaries today have kind of lost their way a little bit in that they want to be these like massive, not morality. They want to be these massive, like, they need to say something, or it needs to be, you know, it needs to be this. Yeah. It's like, no, a documentary doesn't need to be that. Like,
right.
Some of the best documentaries I've seen in the last like 10 years, 15 years are like just showing the time, like Questlove's first documentary is about this concert in Central Park. I forget what it's called. And it's like just archival footage and like in reassembling the performances on stage and then showing the people in the crowd who many of them are minorities. Other of them are people living in cities who don't have a lot of money and they're ranting and raving over what we're spending on the moon launch. Like, it's just like slice of life, slice of time documentaries are way better than like these things where it's like you're showing a I don't know, like there's the documentary out in TV, or I'm sorry, in theaters right now is an AI documentary, and it's like, how I learned about AI, and now I'm a AI apocalyptimist or whatever. It's like, oh, now it's like, now that they've seen the light and they can see how AI can be good, and it's like, dude, documentaries, you don't stare documentaries a certain way. You set out to make them, and then the documentary makes itself. That's what a good documentary is. Right. So, in that essence, this sort of does that, but this is very, very sprawling, and it could have used some some zeroing in, some tunnel scope. My last thing was they do talk about the Todd Solondz film storytelling, and they go over and over again how the thrust count in the sex scene is so vital.
Every fucking time.
Because first of all, have either of you watched storytelling?
No.
Okay,
I have not, but I learned, like, I wouldn't know about it if it weren't for this documentary.
Yeah,
I've seen. No, again, my Entertainment Weekly 20-year-old self listened to them say, "You got to watch this movie, Storytelling. You have to watch this movie, Happiness, by this guy named Todd Solondz," and they are incredibly fucked up movies.
I have Happiness.
I can assure you, the thrust count is not the reason Storytelling has an NC-17.
Well, yeah, no,
I can tell you.
It was good for use for that fucking part of the fucking movie, though.
It's fine. Go watch Storytelling. I'm gonna say the last thing you're gonna come out thinking about it is the thrust counts. The last thing you will think about.
All right, Mark.
Okay. All right. You guys really already laid it all out as far as what I
still
thought
got a
about
bunch of stuff I haven't talked about, but yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna read through a few notes that I have.
And you've seen this before, right, Mark?
Yeah, you recommended this to me years ago. I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I added in my notes that the Kevin Smith quote: "If I were to create a rating system, I wouldn't put murder at the top of chief offenses. I would put rape
grape
right at the top, and assault against women. It's so obscenely overused. That to me is offensive, yet that shit skates." That sums it up right there. This is a fucked up system of I mean, come on. Also, I wrote, I find it very interesting that the glorification of war has not only been easily permitted in films over the last half century, but in a lot of cases, per the stringent military screening process that exists in the motion picture industry, it's actually been fostered and encouraged to be depicted in motion pictures. Meanwhile, a mere glimpse of a woman's pubic hair, it will literally prevent a film from getting released. That is bonkers.
What's shocking to me? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That I couldn't let the pubic hair go. What's shocking to me is, have you guys? Again, I don't like to talk about movies, individual movies sometimes because people might pick them. But I don't think anyone's going to pick this. This is a pretty large movie. Have either of you seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't Margot Robbie's hairless vagina much more provocative than seeing some pubic hair?
Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that, yes.
Yes.
But
So
that
again,
was a
it's
big
like
studio and Martin Scorsese, so they let it
but it's
slide.
so weird though. Like to me, I see that on screen and I'm way more shocked than seeing. Yeah. Yes. So
Sharon Stone and Becca Basic Instinct, bro.
Well,
I really honestly think this documentary should have been titled "The Politics of Censorship."
Yeah.
Because you can get away with things in certain cases.
Shit was run by one of the guys that helped assassinate JFK, so yeah.
Yeah, Valenti. Yeah.
Motherfucking
that's
Jack
a whole
Valenti,
nother
man.
kettle of fish, dude.
Dude, if I could ever have a chance to piss on someone's grave, he's on that list.
Yeah, he's bad. He was on the fucking plane while Jackie O was covered in blood and Lyndon Johnson was being sworn in.
With the most lecherous look on his face in that photograph.
That's what Gen Z calls
cringe.
Little sus.
Yeah.
That was terrible. All right, my last note was that it's a criticism of the film, which is I think the whole detectives tracking down the members of the MPAA, the subplot that was so superfluous, unnecessary, and just a whole lot of much ado about nothing. It didn't contribute anything.
I think it just gave a level of humanization to the fact that Kirby Dick was like, I'm working with regular ass people to try to do this. Like, it's not like I don't have a bunch of big funding to do it.
I felt that it took up too much running time and was unnecessary. That's
well,
what I thought.
I guess that plays to my point. Very sprawling,
Yeah, they could have tightened this up and really hammered home the fucking problems with this system, and instead they were like, well, where's this guy live? We're going to go to his house and we're going to try to get who the fuck cares? It's a system. It's not people. It's a system. I just thought that took way too much attention away from a really good,
just over 90 minutes long. It's not like it's a fucking long.
Well, then maybe it should have been a short. I don't know what to tell you, but I thought all the detective stuff, I would snooze city.
See, meanwhile, one of my notes was I wish that the detectives had gotten a reality show out of this.
No, they did. They contributed nothing to this.
I like the lesbian detectives.
At the end of the day, please, you cannot tell me that they contributed anything substantial to this documentary. They were totally superfluous.
I like them. But yeah, so my notes. My first note was, and it kills me because Netflix, IFC funded this, Netflix produced this, and it is no longer available on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like in a time where Netflix has to fight with assholes like James Cameron about our movie has to be in a theater for blah blah blah. This should still be on fucking Netflix to be like, hey, James Cameron, suck a dick, watch this.
When was this released, Joe?
06.
Yeah, but do you know the exact date?
I would have to like Wikipedia that shit.
I do know that Netflix is most of the things that they even co-finance. After 20 years, they no longer
September 1st, 06.
So they should still have it. But I do know that 20 years, stuff starts to fall off Netflix now. After 20 years. So
that's not cool, man. I pay a subscription to watch the movies you offer, and I can't watch the fucking movies you offer.
Yeah, well, that's because what they do is they enter agreements with like an outside studio to make it for them. And then
that shit.
Yeah,
if I pay you a subscription to watch fucking, I don't know, Zardoz, that should be available in perpetuity. Like it shouldn't come and go. Oh, it's going now.
I mean, that's a story for another day. That goes into the realm of like the day that fucking 1984 got yanked off all Amazon Kindles. Like that's a whole thing. But
no, well, there's a whole movement about Gen Z. As much as I have fucking problems with Gen Z, they are buying more physical media. Which honestly,
they're also doing it to fucking sell it on eBay because they're a bunch of cunts.
I don't know. The market is going up.
No, the market's going up because of cunts from TikTok going, I'm going to make money off of old people. Literally, dude, every fucking VHS collecting group I'm in, every time a Gen Zer pops in, we're like, get the fuck out. Because literally the first thing they do is, I found this tape, how much is it worth? Fuck off and get out. That's how much it's worth.
Really?
Yeah, that's why Gen Zers are buying fucking physical media, is because they're trying to flip the shit because they don't want to get real fucking jobs.
I really got the gist that the increase in physical media purchasing was because people don't want to rely on streaming, like they never should have in the fucking first place.
Well, there's some of that. There's some of that. It's not all people just flipping
Gen
things.
But trying to fucking flip shit. That's more of a portion of it than you would see.
No, I do not believe that if you own something strictly digitally, that you rely on a service, even if you purchase it, you do not own that. Physical media, they can fucking edit it, they can censor it, they can remove it. If you own physical media, you are owning what you purchased. And it seems like Gen Z is like coming around to that. Like I don't want to see the streaming edited version of Splash where they put they digitally make Daryl Hannah's hair go down across her ass so you can't see her butt cheeks. Like people want it, like they want to know they want to get what they fucking paid for. The original.
There are some people like that, but there's also people like fucking younger millennials and Gen Zers who are bitching. It's like, why is this on why should I have to pay $2.99 for video on demand? Blah blah blah. Motherfucker, we used to have to pay per fucking title when we had to go to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. And some of us Gen Xers remember way back in the day when we were little kids when you had to pay an annual fucking fee to the local video store on top of the rental for everything. So shut the fuck up. Our parents used to have to pay $100 a year for a membership, and then it was $2 for every tape we had to rent. So
and if you wanted to buy a new release, it was
$100 fucking dollars.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Right, exactly. So don't be bitching about, oh, it's not on a streaming service and I don't want to pay $2.99 for video on demand. Suck a fucking dick. But anyways, getting back to it.
Right.
Netflix produces. The scene at the beginning with Paul Garabedian is the most 2005 thing ever, where he's just sitting there at the desk with the big booty fucking computer monitor and the Rolodex next to it. I'm like, this is so 2005.
Yeah.
Like, it really dates the movie. I said we live in a post-physical media world, so Walmart and Blockbuster should no longer be a factor. It's still ridiculous that Orgasmo is NC-17 when there's zero nudity in it.
I know, right?
Along with, but I'm a cheerleader. Now, the argument that I had with one of the dumb fucks talking about this, he's like,
yes.
well, they really take violence over sex. I'm like, it's nudity. And I was just like, but I'm a cheerleader. It was rated NC-17 and it has no nudity. Clerks was originally rated NC-17 and it had no nudity. Like, they fucking do this shit because of sexual stuff. When he's interviewing the fucking people to figure out which private investigator he wants, the guy who thinks he could just get a job as a janitor at the MPAA building is such a fucking hack. And every time I was like, bro, how I swear if that guy is still alive, like I doubt he was in business that fucking long. When they were talking to the guy like one of the former raiders who spoke up, I was like, $30,000 a year, even in 1995, for someone living in LA was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, really? Here's the thing that really got to me, especially watching it this time around, because of the fact it's no longer the MPAA, it's the MPA.
Right.
Because of the fact of who we have to placate now. Which is funny because we went from, because they talked about like the whole thing with the writers guilds and the McCarthy stuff. We went from communists hate our films in the 1960s to now us tailoring our films so the communists will screen them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much of a mind fuck is that?
Yeah.
That we can't do certain things in movies because, oh, well, they won't release it in China if we do that. Give me a fucking break. Mm-hmm. I really want to know if Kevin Smith said that whole spiel about in the dark or in the shower with the shower head to Joan Graves. Like, I want to know if he actually said all that shit or if he just implied. Like, I really want to know. I want to know. Thrust counter still cracks me up. Here's the thing that killed me. So I went and looked at it. So Joan Graves actually retired from the MPAA in 2019.
Okay.
So when Joan Graves retired from the MPAA, her kids were in their 40s. I'm a mother. Suck a dick.
Right.
Her kids were in their 40s, and she was the head of the MPAA. You do not represent Middle America.
Yeah.
And just John Waters talking about what do you call it? John Waters talking like especially because he was talking a lot about A Dirty Shame. And I remember when that came out, the first time I saw A Dirty Shame, I was working at Hollywood Video, and the only version we had at Hollywood was called the neuter version. Because that was the one that he had to submit to the MPAA to get an R rating.
No way.
You want to talk about a fucking hacked up, so far edited for network television and still rated R movie. Like, quite literally, there's a scene in it where Tracy Ullman like is doing something and someone in their car flips her off. And they put the fucking square fucking fuzzy over the person's hand. Like, in a rated R movie.
I want to see this version so bad now.
I think I have a copy on DVD somewhere in my collection, but it is so, like, because Dirty Shame I love as a movie. It's a fun movie. And it's worth a watch. But and he's talked about a lot in his one man show, This Filthy World. He talks about all the shit he went through with them. But yeah, like the neuter version of A Dirty Shame it's a dirty shame that's what he had to go through, because holy shit. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I was watching and I'm like, so I'm guessing the first cut of the film he sent to them was only like an hour and 10 minutes. So it amazes me that they didn't try to sue him for doxing the Raiders. Because that was in it when he submitted to me. He was like, here you go, motherfucker. And they're like, and then so when he's talking to the attorney about the appeals and what he has to go through, I said the entire appeal process just reminds me of arguments that I know I'm sure other people would have with some of the teachers when we were in high school. And you would try to say things like, I thought this was a free country, and literally the teachers would be like, you're in communist China as long as you're in this building. You have no rights. Like, that's literally what the appeals process is like. They're like, no, you can't. No, citing precedent? No, fuck you. You have no rights here. And then like they're talking about the clergy, and I'm like, I need a young priest and an old priest. Because there's two clergy members on the fucking appeals board for some reason. And I thought it was, where did my note go about the Venn diagram? I had a note about, where is it? Oh, there it is. So when he's talking about it, like, when they're talking about like what companies run stuff, and then it shows like the overlapping companies and they all start merging. I said that merging Venn diagram of all the company logos was rather prophetic at the time. Because it was like 10 and it's like, I'm like, yeah, that's what's fucking happening right now. Like, we're going to have 2. And then, I said it's sort of hilarious that on the appeals board that there were CEOs, the CEOs of Fox Searchlight and Sony Pictures were both on the appeals board. It's like, but your studios release movies, so why are you on the appeals board? Like, I kind of understood the film buyers being on it because obviously they're the distributors, but if you're putting out the movie, that's a conflict of interest. Like, that's just very fucking odd to me. But I also, but just overall and stuff, like, this movie helped me discover a lot of films that I may have never seen. Like, it's thanks to this movie that I learned about But I'm a Cheerleader, The Cooler, Where the Truth Lies. Like, hold that shit. That's why it was funny. Like, one time it was like a random conversation with Greg, and he made a Cooler reference, and I knew what he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, I know The Cooler.
Yep, all Entertainment Weekly championed indies. Anything with William H. Macy back then. It was like, you're in. So yeah, The Cooler, good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, and and it was funny too because it was serendipitous that he was filming this when Where the Truth Lies got its NC-17 rating, and they were going through the appeal, and that's how they were able to nab all of the people. Because that was the movie that was getting appealed like a month before his. That's why there was that scene that was added in where he was talking, where it was the director of Where the Truth Lies talking to the international press about, we got an NC-17 and they're doing this shit to us. Yeah. But I mean, because that was the thing with us growing up. Like, like the only widely released NC-17 movie that any of us remember from when we were teenagers was Showgirls, because that was the whole thing. Was Paul Verhoeven was the one at NC-17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
forgot about that.
Right. Like, I remember seeing like a trailer for Boys Don't Cry on a random VHS. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, because it was an NC-17 movie and I never fucking saw it.
Was Jade NC-17?
I don't think so. I thought Jade
was
rated R.
Yeah, I don't know, but
and the thing
I
was,
remember.
And it was around the time that this came out when a lot of the the horror movie studios started skirting around the MPAA, and that's when they started double dipping by releasing the theatrical cut and the unrated cut on home video. That's when we started seeing that across the fucking board. And some of the stuff was like, okay, you actually got a bunch of extra shit in the unrated cut. And a lot of it was just, this is the same fucking movie. Like, they threw in like one extra fuck and be like, see, it's different. But that's how they were skirting around it back then. But now we live in an age where, it's like, there are some unrated movies that come out and have a modicum of success. But I mean, the thing is, it's with everything coming out on fucking streaming, like, you really think parents, like, obviously, like, the parental control, so it's like, if you have it on kids only, it's just, rated G and cartoons and shit. But if you don't have the parental controls on, like, you think they're really paying attention to, like, if a movie's fucking rated R or unrated? Like,
no.
I honestly don't think people are paying attention to that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Which is why it's hilarious that we still deal with this fucking rating system, and how, like Matt Stone said, how there's no alternate rating system.
Yeah.
I don't even think it matters. Like, you watch stuff and you're like, I watched 300 movies last year. Like, you could tell me after I watched stuff like that was R. I'd be like, oh really? Like, I had no idea. Like, that stuff does not resonate with me whatsoever. I mean, I guess if you have kids, you have to sort of know that stuff, but
Yeah, but I mean, and that goes back to John Waters. He was like, kids these days have seen way more corn than anything. And that was 20 years ago. Now it's even fucking easier.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like, come on. I mean, like you listen to kids. I mean, I know how my nieces and nephews just talk, and I'm like, really? like we're worried about it.
It's like I said a couple episodes back. I was just like, dude, second base is fucking like eating ass now.
Eating ass, yeah, I remember.
Dude. Yeah, it's definitely like this documentary has definitely, at least some of it has gotten better with age, because it doesn't feel outdated. It feels like, shit, why the fuck are we still doing this? You just kind of look at it like, bro, why are we still doing this? Why? Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got on it. So yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, it was. I think it was worth using my wild card for it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So if you are interested in watching this film, it's not yet rated. It is currently available on YouTube and the Internet Archive. Links for those are below. It is also available as video on demand on Amazon Prime and Google Play. So, so you see, at this point in the episode would be where we make our draws for the next episode. But it's the season finale, and the jar is empty. But if you watched episode 10, you know that we have a plan for what we're going to do. So what's going to happen is, this is the time where we take a few weeks off from Wildcard Cinema to get our bearings and decide our selections for season 4. There will be a season 4. We all agreed. So we're gonna, we're gonna take our own little spring break, and get back to that in a few weeks. 3 to 4 weeks. We'll come around with the premiere of season 4. But in the meantime, what we decided to do in the interim was we were going to do another episode of Cinematic Jackass.
Woo woo.
So we have the mystery Tubby, the mystery Tubby at Dubby, Dubby.gg, link below, 10% off, Full Circle Radio. And the way we did this was I have categories in here, and it is Mark's turn. So whatever category I pull, Mark is going to go through my curated lists, and he's going to pick out 3 titles. And of those 3 titles, we will vote on which one it will be. The one standing rule of Cinematic Jackass, which is like our own kind of version of Riff Tracks and Mr. Science Theater, is that we have not seen the movie. So we go into it blind, or as blind as possible. We have not watched it, so it's not like pre-recorded lines and all that stuff. It's just off the top of our head. And depending if I can wrangle someone, and depending on the category, we may have a 4th panelist. So, I'm shaking it up nice. Mo Tussin. Everything is above level here. I have a slip. Mark, the category that you must go through.
I can't wait.
Your category, sir, is Croxploitation. For those unfamiliar, Croxploitation is like Sharksploitation, except it has to do with alligators and crocodiles instead of sharks.
Sure to be lots of quality choices on that category. I can't wait.
So yeah, so Mark's going to make that selection. I will try to wrangle an extra panelist depending on what it is to see who's interested, and we'll probably do that probably around like near the end of April. We'll probably do that. Yeah, like maybe like the week of Stoner's New Year.
420, man.
Look at you. Look at you, huh? What you doing here? Hold on. It's amazing. Like I ain't even like getting ready for shit. And you know, Titus already knows that his job is to tell you to like and subscribe.
He knows his cue.
He
Naturally.
Like I didn't even like say like any words to Q. He knows he's right here. He's right here. He knows.
Oh, such a good boy.
Yes, he is. Is that all? Is it you came here to do your job? Yes. Yeah, you came here to do your job. What? What's that? Did Daddy drop one? You'll find it later. Yeah. Good boy. All right. My headphone jack came a little out. All right. So yeah, so that does it for season 3 of Wildcard Cinema. Thanks for joining us. And because it's the season finale, I decided if we're gonna mash it on out of here, we got to go with something like completely overloaded because it's the end of the season. So yeah, until you come join us for Cinematic Jackass, I'm JJ. That's Greg. That's Mark. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. We're gonna mash it on out of here.
2, 3, 4. Woohoo! 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 Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna to the other side. I wanna to the other side. I wanna break on through to the other side. I wanna to the other side, yeah. The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only one who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. I said no, 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 no. I said no, no, you're not the one for me. Baby, we can stay fly like a G6. Shop the streets of Tokyo, get your fly kicks. Girl, you're always on my mind.